Hello and welcome to Breezy Chatter. Today I'm going to be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 3, Beantown Wedding Throwdown. So, we see the remaining two weddings. Steve and Noy and Alyssa and Chris get married. So, let's talk first about the first impressions. We have Steve and Noy. They are genuinely attracted to each other. They both have a nice sense of humor as they were both learning about each other. Noy did become emotional when the wedding officiant brought up her family. They did let Steve know about Noisy, which is Noy's alter ego, and how she likes to wear wigs and she turns up and she has a great time. Steve was really cute, really sincere, had a sense of humor of his own. Steve took out a ring pop just in case she did not like the wedding ring that he chose for her. But she loved it, and she loved the idea of the ring pop. She thought that was a nice touch, and it made her like him even more. Noy had a wardrobe change. She put on an elaborate traditional red and gold dress, and she brought a red and white sash for Steve to put on. And she did ask him if he was okay wearing it, and Steve, he was game. He was down for it. Noy and Steve both seem really optimistic. Even after she learns that he is currently unemployed, Noy did give Steve the side eye, okay? But she does believe that Steve will get a job. So she's not worrying about it too much, but it's on her mind. Make no mistake about that. So then we've got Alyssa and Chris. And unfortunately, the energy was not the same as Noy and Steve. Chris is definitely attracted to Alyssa. And he did make a point in saying that he did not envision what his future wife would look like. Meanwhile, Alyssa is hoping that Chris is tall, tanned, has a little scruffy beard. She says there must be a physical attraction from the beginning. She also makes a point of saying she takes really good care of her teeth and that a nice smile is really important to her. She jokingly says that if her groom has snaggle teeth, she's going to have to say it was fun while it lasted. She also said, is there a dentist in the room? Unfortunately, what Alyssa did not realize is while she was making jokes about teeth, Chris happens to have teeth that are not perfect. His teeth are not straight. They are a little off-white, and also they appear to be sharpened, or they look a little pointy to me. I don't know. They look misshapen, or like he had them sharpened, or the dentist did something. And I must say, the producers are messy as hell because they continuously zoomed in on Chris's teeth, knowing good and well that this girl wanted a man who had nice teeth. And they knew he didn't have nice teeth, and they kept zooming in on them. He was smiling and they just kept zooming in and then showing her face, and she looked so repulsed. After the wedding vows, Chris and Alyssa, they make small talk, and he proudly brings up how he's involved in an activity called disc golf. And of course, she doesn't know what it is, and he says, well, no one does, but let me explain. And he explains it to her, and there's an air of arrogance when he's talking about this sport and how he is the vice president of the New England Disc Golf Association. He was talking and she was not interested in disc golf at all. So all five couples are finally hitched and it's picture time. We see Katina and Elijah taking beautiful pictures. They make an extremely attractive couple. They were creative, very much at home with each other as they pose for all the pictures, kissing in between. Elijah is so smitten with Katina, he is just talking his talk. He was saying that her lips are juicy and he gets a sense of loyalty and trust when he kisses her. Since when do you get a sense of loyalty and trust when you kiss a stranger? I don't care how soft their lips are. When does that happen? And, they just kissed a lot. And I think he kind of felt like he was overdoing it because he did ask her if she felt like it was too much. And she said no, so he just went right in. He just kept on doing what he was doing. And it just makes me wonder, did he change his mind about waiting? Because he did say he did not want to consummate the marriage on the wedding night because he didn't want to judge his wife. But the way he's speaking of her beauty and her body and her juicy lips, it's making me wonder, has Elijah changed his mind? Is he ready to consummate the marriage on the wedding night? So Katina and Elijah talk while they're eating, and they realize that they both have the same desires as far as going on trips and when they would like to start a family. Elijah learns that Katina is not the best cook, but she can cook. But Elijah says we're going to have to learn how to cook because that's the only way we will survive. And I'm like, what happened? Is he on the verge of death? What does he mean that's the only way they will survive? It looks like he's managed to survive so far without her cooking. I don't understand why his survival is contingent upon her ability to cook. I don't think Elijah is going to starve, okay? Whether Katina can cook or not. So let's just stop it. He's being so dramatic with that. And Katina gets a chance to chop it up with Elijah's friends and family. She lets them know that in the summer she likes a cookout, hookah, going out to the pool. And the guys were like, oh yeah, you'll fit right in with us. And she let them know that her party days are over. And his best friend does tell her that she needs to be really patient with Elijah, and she may have to explain things not once, not twice, but maybe 3 times before he's on board. His initial reaction may be no, because he's trying to protect himself, but if you explain things, he may change his mind over time. And Katina said she could really get behind the patience because she'd like Elijah to have patience with her. And Elijah's brother says that Elijah likes to mold his women to what he wants. And the look on Katina's face was priceless. And I hope at that point Elijah's brother stopped talking because he was doing Elijah no favors. And then Elijah got to meet with Katina's mother. And I must say, she got a lot of information from him. So we found out that he has ADHD. He is on meds. He says if he's doing too much, just let him know. And he was rambling on, but I think, it's Katina's mom, so he was super nervous. And he was talking fast. He was talking so fast, like those used car salesmen when they're getting ready to sell you a lemon. They be talking so fast trying to get you to sign. And he made the mistake of calling Katina Katrina. And mom was like, oh, no, it's Katina. That's a pet peeve of mine. So she doesn't like it when you call her daughter Katrina. Meanwhile, Katina's calling Elijah Elijah and any other name she could figure out. She's trying her best to say his name, but she's never saying it right. But Elijah better make sure he says Katina, not Katrina. He better get it right because mom's is not having it. And then we have Jasmina and Michael, and they're talking about their work schedules. Michael informs Jasmina that he's up early at 4 a.m. and he works long hours. He has 4 clients on Saturday, and the schedule's a little unpredictable. So it sounds like Jasmina's going to have plenty of time to watch Korean movies. Michael meets with Jasmina's parents, and they let Michael know that he has to find a middle ground with Jasmina, and she loves communication, and quiet is no good. So he needs to speak up and say how he feels. And Jasmina also got to meet with Michael's sisters, and they pinned her. They put one of the pink breast cancer ribbons on her dress in memory and honor of Michael's mother. They said that she is a part of their family, and they all have the pins. So they said it's only right that she wears a pin as well. And I thought that was beautiful. And then we have Mark and Lindsey getting along well. Mark does have a word with Lindsey's father, and he does ask for Lindsey's hand in marriage. And Lindsey's dad gives him the okay. And he just tells Mark, just make sure that you stay on Lindsey's side, you defend her, and don't get on her bad side. And Mark expressed the importance of having the support of their families. And he also said that he's ready to see Lindsey's lovable side. And I think he wants to see that lovable side because he wants her to help him take care of his mom. He's not going to entrust her to care for his mom based on what he's seen so far. He wants to see the compassion and the caring. It was a heartfelt moment because Mark did lose his father a few years back, and it looks like he's looking to Lindsey's dad to be that father figure for him. And, I think Lindsey's dad is cool, and he knows his daughter very well, and he could sort of coach Mark through the quirks and the crazy and the nonsense that may happen between him and Lindsey. So it was a nice, heartfelt conversation between the two of them. And then we have Alyssa and Chris taking pictures. Of course, Alyssa is over it already. She refuses to take any pictures where she is super close to Chris. She refuses to rest her head on his chest. She doesn't want to be twirled. She said that she's not a person who likes to be touchy-feely and close up on people. That's not her vibe. And the wedding reception is underway, and Chris corners Alyssa's mother to ask if Alyssa has said anything about him. And Alyssa's mother says, I think she likes you. Alyssa meets with Chris's friends, and they ask her what is her first impression of Chris. And she says that she believes that he is kind. And of course, his friends go on to say that he's condescending, but he means well. and they kind of threw him under the bus. And once that conversation was over with his friends, her first impression of him wasn't great, and then things just really went downhill after that. It's like, okay, you hooked me up with this guy. Now his friends are telling me that he's condescending. I'm telling you I think he's kind, and you're telling me that he's not. So, I think she was just over it at that point. Sidebar, what was up with those wedding cakes? They were having a hell of a time cutting them. It was looking like decorated styrofoam. Then they had the bouquet toss, and Jasmina let everybody know I'm not good at throwing, so catch it if you can. And then we had Michael, who was so cute as he was moseying over to Jasmina to get the garter from under her dress. And Elijah, of course, had to show everyone his stripper moves. He was giving Katina a lap dance. He done pulled up his shirt to show her family and friends what he's working with, because I'm sure his family has seen Isaac in action time and time again. Isaac showed up for the reception, and he was gyrating and holding himself. And I'm like, why is this man holding himself? Was he trying to hold the sock in place? Did a Michael Jackson song come on? Or was he aroused and trying to hide it? I mean, when Elijah is on the screen, the questions are endless. Like, what was he doing? Why? Why Elijah? So we get to see the difference between just enough sexy with Michael moseying on down and way too much with Elijah gyrating and getting his life. So Chris is talking to Alyssa's friends, and he's trying to say anything to win her favor. Her friends say she doesn't like a nice guy. He says that he's a masshole. I don't care if she don't like nice guys or not. Chris, don't tell people things like that about yourself. And then he said that he has edge. And I was looking and I said, where? I don't see any edge. And I don't think Alyssa sees any edge either. So now at this point, Chris has cornered Alyssa's mother. He has cornered her friends. And they all lying. They all like, oh, don't worry, give us some time. You know, she likes you. And Chris, you know good and well, she does not like you. If you felt as if she liked you, you wouldn't have to ask. And you know what they say, if you have to ask, you already know. So let's talk about the wedding night. Lindsey is wondering about MTS and his bedroom skills. You know what? I think she will be pleased. They both seem like they would throw their backs out trying to please each other. So I think they're going to have a good time if they decide to go there on their wedding night. So Steve had a conversation with Noy's brother Michael, and Michael questioned Steve about what's going to happen tonight. And Steve is trying to be respectful, and he says, well, we're going to get to know each other and establish a connection. Mike had a look on his face that said, wrong answer. And he said, let me clue you in about my sister. Noy will not chase you. She prefers to be chased. And if you don't chase her, someone else will. So what I got from that is he was telling Steve, you better go get it or you're going to get left. And you don't have much time. So if you play slow G, you're going to be by yourself. So Steve was looking at Michael and he was like, got you. So Katina met with the girls and they're all talking about Elijah and his body, yada, yada. And of course, Katina said no to consummating the wedding on the wedding night. She says she wants a deep-rooted connection with Elijah. And she's putting him on a 30-day time frame for the bedroom games. So meanwhile, Elijah is telling the fellas that his wife is a beautiful woman and she's petite in shape. His brother said, you got the box? I'm like, box? What box? I was like, they didn't show us any box. If anybody saw a box, please let me know in the comments. And I'm like, okay, what kind of box? What, a box of condominiums? A box of toys? And if it's a box of toys, it better be fresh out the pack. But Elijah was like, yeah. But I just couldn't help but wonder what he was talking about. And then he was saying that if she wants him to tie her up, he'll do it. If he wants her to be flipped upside down, and if she wants him to do some crazy stuff, he's down with it. So maybe he has some rope and some tape, maybe some cables, so he could flip her upside down. I don't know. Maybe he got a toolbox. Maybe he went to the hardware store. What do you guys think? What's the box? I'd love to know. And then Elijah said that he was flexing his muscles for Katina because he wanted her to feel what he was working with. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, what happened? What happened to we gonna wait? And little does he know, Katina got him on a 30-day diet. So we'll see how that works out. So the newly married couples make their exits, and now it's time for the honeymoon night. So the couples arrive at the hotel, and they find champagne on chill, rose petals on the bed. And then we see Elijah, and he throws himself onto the bed, and he's got on some greased up boxers. There were stains all over those shorts. And I was like, was this his something old? Was this his something blue? I don't know, but he should have burned those boxers. There's no excuse. I know people have lucky boxers, but once they start looking like that, it's time to go out. And the producers and editors, I'm sorry, they are messy, just messy as they want to be, because we did not have to see those boxers, okay? We did not have to see those stains. But the cameraman made sure he zoomed in so that we could get a good look at those dusty blue boxers. Disrespectful, just too disrespectful. So everyone's getting comfortable except Chris and Alyssa. Chris is patiently waiting outside while Alyssa is giving the producers the business. She is telling them, I did not order Chris. I ordered a country man, tall, with a tan, a little scruffy beard, and a nice smile. She wants to know why she wound up with what she wound up with, which was Chris. And she said, what's more, his friend said he's pushy and condescending, and I do not like that. She told the producers she does not want to sleep in the same room with Chris. The producer said, well, you know what? You need to let Chris know because he is in the dark. He is clueless. He has no idea that you have these feelings. So she goes out to Chris and she's all smiling and being fake because she knows good and well she does not like him. But she apologized because he was out there waiting. And she told him that some things were said that just don't sit right with her. And he apologized. And he said if there's anything that he did to offend her, he's sorry. He offered clarification if there's anything she needed to know. She said, nope, not right now. And she walked away. And he's just sitting there looking frustrated. I said, oh, well. The thing about the show is that you're leaving the selections to 3 experts. Yes, they're experts. And they're going to choose who they want to choose. You could write a whole long list of what you want. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. Maybe they thought his teeth were good enough. Okay? Maybe they felt he checked all the checks. But this is what you signed up for. You signed up for other people to pick for you. And then you're going to get mad because it's not what you ordered. I mean, come on now. We got to be realistic. And this is season 14. This is not news. How many times have we seen at least 1 or 2 people on the show complaining about the appearance of the person that was selected for them? The show is not for you if you think that you're going to walk in here, fill out all those papers, and you're going to get exactly what you want, or you're going to get the perfect guy. But anyway, Alyssa is in her feelings. She is upset. And Chris, he's frustrated. So now we get to see a little sneak peek of what's to come. We see the couples on their honeymoon. It looks like they're in the Caribbean, but I'm not sure. We have Lindsey, who says she feels like she already loves Mark. We've got Katina. She says she feels like she's falling in love. We got Steve telling Noy that he loves her. And of course, we will see the other shoe drop when some conflict arises between the couples. So the previews, we did see some rocky moments between the couples, but we need to wait and see the context behind the conflict. So this episode was quite interesting. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to next week. This is my commentary. If you enjoyed it, hit like, subscribe, and leave comments. Thank you for your time. Until next time, ta-ta.